Well, it's been confirmed. Henry Cejudo has one more fight before retirement. It's really about time, you know. I don't hate Henry Cejudo. I'm still not a fan either, but I do, agree that he is a UFC legend. Um, Pretty much an all-time great. Definitely not top 10, but somewhere in that top, upper echelon of all-timers because of what he's done. He's champ, wrestling gold medalist. He did a lot before he retired early. The stuff he's done after his retirement, obviously a shit show. But before he made that horrible, horrible decision to retire early, he was amazing. Simply amazing. Came into, the fight game or the MMA game with that strong wrestling background and developed a really, really strong style of striking as well, both with power and just sheer technique. He's done well, or at least he did well before he chose to retire early. After retiring early, and then out of nowhere, just returning to the UFC, of course he's been dunked on time and time again. And now it's finally pretty much time to thoroughly consider retirement or technically re-retirement. But again, it's rumored, or not rumored, he's confirmed it himself, that he has one more fight before he decides to hang up the gloves or drop the gloves. And it's about damn time. But while I say that, I don't really think Henry. I don't. Fuck, man. I don't think Henry's like. I don't think Henry looked like Tony Ferguson in the cage against Song Yadong. I think Henry still has. I would argue Henry Cejudo still has tread left on the tires, if you will. A metaphor used by Kamaru Usman to indicate that he still has some stuff to give to the sport. It's not entirely time for him to retire. I'm saying it's about time because Henry's taking loss after loss after loss, and his loss against Song Yadong was by far the worst compared to his other two losses against Aljamain Sterling and Merab Dvalishvili. His loss against Song Yadong was basically entirely his fault, to take the full five after getting eye poked, and then, seemingly being okay, to then, in the following round, just screaming about his eye and causing a whole fucking a whole, commotion of confusion with UFC officials just pacing back and forth, not knowing who to ask about what to do next in terms of how to call this fight. And then they just pushed it. I think they pushed it past the third round or fourth round, or maybe the third round. No. Yeah, I'm confused. But either way, the ref did his job. Had the fight go on as long as it needed to decide a winner based on I think the first three rounds. Overall, it was a whole clusterfuck that was entirely Henry Cejudo's fault. So, yeah, looking back at Henry Cejudo, still a bona fide UFC legend, still a viable all timer. Of course, all of that before his early retirement. Afterwards, just a guy, older guy, fighting tough opponents, but yet still an older guy that is not able to beat these tough opponents. So it's not looking like he's going to be able to get to a fucking title, because to get to a title, you got to get past the tough opponents. So it's time for Henry to retire, I think. I'm just saying, although I believe it's time for Henry to retire, I do think there's a little bit Henry could still give to the sport. He's not looking like Tony Ferguson in there, where he's able to throw maybe two punches, and then every punch after that is way too slow and way too soft, and he's just standing there waiting for his opponent to submit him or knock him out. He's still got a little bit left. Still a great wrestler, of course. Still knows a thing or two about striking. So it's about time still. He's got one more fight. Don't know who it's going to be against, but I'm sure he's going to try to give it his all in that fight. and he's still got a bit to give. So he can give that little bit in that final fight and then retire, and that is a good decision. I think a lot of other UFC fighters should follow suit in terms of, considering retirement at the right time to consider retirement. Not too early like Jalen Turner, and not too late like Tony Ferguson. Just at the right time where they notice, hey, the physique, the cardio, the power, it's all trailing a bit behind, getting up there in age, and I have done incredible things in the sport, and I have left a really big legacy behind. So I think it's time, But overall, again, I'm not a big Henry Cejudo fan. I'm not really a Henry Cejudo fan at all. But you have to respect the greats, and he is a great. Again, overall, you let me know what you think. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn the notifications on. Most importantly, turn the notifications on because YouTube loves to mess with my viewership. So stay tuned, stay kept in the loop, and turn your notifications on. And again, don't forget to like and subscribe. I love you guys. I'll see you all in the next.